Good morning. Something a little bit different today. I've just dropped my dogs off for their grooming appointment, and now I'm on my way to a local car show. Now, as a general rule, I don't video car shows, and that's for two main reasons. Firstly, they don't really do that well as videos. People generally are more interested in a subject that they know about in advance from the title, and with a car show video they really don't know what they're going to see, so a lot of people just switch off. I generally don't enjoy car shows, especially local ones. You tend to find it's the same crowd, they're the same cars, of course, they're all sitting in the same chairs around those cars, and in general they're quite unsociable. Cars and coffees are a little bit different. I haven't been to any of those though this year. They tend to be a bit more sociable, and indeed that's what cars and coffee shows try to promote, because they don't allow chairs. But there are also some other shows as well that are a bit more specialist, that don't seem to attract that same crowd, even at local level. One is the Napa show in Columbiana, which is where I'm going to in September, and I'll probably film that as well. I go to that one every year, and it attracts a larger audience from a much wider area. The show that I'm heading to now is called the Buckeye German Jubilee. It's also in Columbiana, Ohio, and this one is a Volkswagen show. It's hosted by a local Volkswagen specialist. It's just out of town, so they host it in a field that's behind them, and it attracts all sorts of people from far and wide. There are people come from a number of different states to this thing. That also means that it can be hit and miss as to the variety as well. It does, as you might imagine, attract a large air-cooled crowd. That's the vast majority, and sometimes that's pretty much all that's there. And as much as that interests me, it isn't really my forte when it comes to Volkswagen knowledge. I've always been a lot more interested personally in the water-cooled stuff. So, in terms of actually putting a video together, doing a walk around, my knowledge can be hit or miss. I think it's good enough to get by, but I'm no Beetle expert, for instance. I did gain a lot of knowledge about Beetles when I wrote about one for Classic Retro Modern magazine, although that was a Carman-built convertible. But we'll see what's there, and then I can put my knowledge to the test. Okay, so I'm not even out of the parking lot yet, and I'm going to feature this fantastic Mercedes TN. It's been in the country about 7 years. It's a 1990. So it's the 210 model, and I think it's the 2.3 litre gas engine in this. I think that's the M201 engine that replaced the M115. These did initially have the M115, the same as my W123, but this is a later car with the newer engine, and this one is for sale. It's very cool that it was an emergency vehicle. It's still got the H4s in there as well. Contact David if you're interested at, see if I can get that, 503-927-1406. Carman convertible here that is very similar to my friend's, actually. I thought it was his, but his isn't the same colour blue, it's a lighter blue than this. It's kind of more or less like that one, but that's not his. But both of these are the later 1303 based one. You can tell the 1303s from the rounded windshield. They came in around 1972-3. And of course these got the impact bumpers by that point in time as well, sealed beam headlights. There's a very, very interesting Golf or Rabbit, as they were here. This is a Westmoreland built car. It says it's a GTI, and if it is a GTI, then it would have been built here from 1983 onwards at Westmoreland in Pennsylvania. Let's take a look at that. very wisely got a dashboard cover on there to stop the heat from cracking it. Very nice. But these are absolutely lovely, these Carman built cars. Let's have a look around. Fuel injected by this point, of course, so this is going to be at least mid-70s. This one's for sale. Gorgeous. So is this one. Absolutely stunning Type 2. Let's take a look around this. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realise anyone was in here.
I can't get out.
No, fine. I'm like, let's just take a look inside it, and there's people in it. That is absolutely beautiful. Weird and wonderful colour scheme on this one, but it works. I do like that. Here's a sort of rat rod look. That's been lowered, that has, I think. And then here's a Trekker, or over here they would call the Thing. If you really want to be anal, it's the Type 181, because it's left-hand drive. The 182s were right-hand drive. Split screen Type 2, so that's early 60s. Worth a fortune these days. So sought after. If you've got the 21 window version, the world's your oyster. Ton of air-cooled stuff here with the beach buggy. This is a 64. This is before they enlarged the windows, which was, I'm pretty sure that was from 65 or 66. This one is probably a similar vintage, because that's got the smaller windows too. Probably early 60s. 63. It's almost there. I am no Beetle aficionado, but I know more or less the different changes they made. This one's a later one. It kind of pre-74. I would say this is probably around a 69 or a 70. Oh, it's a 74. So those bumpers are not original. Oh, I can see why, because those rear lights, this is a European model. That's why. That's what threw me. And it is a Super Beetle. Now, the Super Beetles came in about 1972, thereabouts, and they added about 2 inches to the length, mainly on the hood. Gave a bit more leg room as well. And shouldn't be confused really with the 1303s, which were had the 1303, of course, from the windscreen. So, but yeah, you can tell from the rear lights, it's had sealed beams put on the front, but those are US spec front lights. But I don't know if this is a US spec originally. If it's a 74, it would have had US spec bumpers, and this doesn't. And the rear lights are certainly European spec. So whether this was built in Europe, because they were building them in Europe until about 78, or Mexican, I don't know. Interesting nonetheless. I like the license plate. Now this has got the what they call the elephant's feet rear lights, which were post sort of 70 or so, 69, 70. But this is a US spec, and it's a 73, yeah. So it's before, again, the impact bumpers. So modern headlights on it. Here's another one. That's so you can see the difference there between. That's not a Super Beetle. Now you can really tell the difference, even though Super Beetles don't all have flat windows. But you can tell the difference between where the hood is there and the Super Beetle, which is much more extended. It's about 4 inches or so, thereabouts. This is a particularly early car. This one's a 1956. You can tell with the indicators that were on the edge of the fenders there, and then later they were removed. This one's a 1960. Again, you can really tell the smaller windows on this. They were continuously enlarging the windscreen. This has got the smaller windscreen as well. Compare that with this later car. This is from the early 70s. This one, in fact this one is a 1970. Stunning car. And next to it we've got an early car around about 59, 60. This one is a 60. Again, with the smaller windows. And here's another one with the smaller windows, similar. This is a 57. Oh, there's the outer indicators on this, denoting what year it's from. And here's, you can see the difference in the size of the windscreen between that one, 57, and that one, which is the 60, and then this one, which is the 65. Look at the difference. This was the year I think they put in the revised shell. And here's another later one as well. This is 67. So this is probably got the larger tail lights. Yep. That's when they started putting the larger tail lights on. Now in this generation, the US cars had a red rear indicator, so those are from Europe. That is a stunning car. Here's a late Super. And this is a 912. I've actually seen this at this show before. There are so many Beetles here, but I think this is a 356. What a stunningly beautiful car. Of course, developed directly from the Beetle itself by Ferdinand Porsche. Another split screen Type 2, worth a small fortune these days. Whole variety of Beetles here. With I think that may be a genuine, well, who knows, 356 Speedster. It's a 1955. It is a recreation. I did wonder, most of them are, that survive these days, but absolutely fantastic nonetheless. And it was built in Brazil, in Sao Paulo. Maybe the same people that built the Puma. I'll have to check on that, but that looks phenomenal, because there are a lot of companies in Brazil that would make recreations and their own VW based products as well. Nice sort of late 70s by the looks of it, second generation Type 2. Well, it's an 83, so relatively late on. No, fairly early. It is a US spec, and I would imagine that's original paint as well. Kind of looks like it. This one's got the post 1974 European bumpers, which they also used in Mexico, and this is probably a Mexican import, which is interesting because it's got the earlier US spec lights on it, so that is probably just a bit of a mishmash. The mirrors aren't original. This one, on the other hand, looks completely original. It's a 1963 car in stunning condition. That is absolutely amazing. So is this 73 Super Beetle. '74. It's vehicle 73. Yeah, it would be a 74. It's got the impact bumpers on. Fabulous. Another lovely late Type 2. And that kind of looks like a Brazilian import, actually. There's no side the side marker on the back. I think it's just been done up to look like a Brazilian one. First generation Carman gear. That is absolutely superb, and it should have the smaller tail lights on it, being an early model, which it does. Almost certainly a US car. It's a US spec car. Yeah. Carman gear, of course, they were built at Carman in Osnabrück. 1959, very early. Very early. I'm sorry?
We got it when we were teenagers.
Did you really?
Yeah, he was 16 and I was 15. Or he was 17 and I was 16.
So the owners were telling me they've owned this since they were teenagers, 50 years. And they bought it for $400. It's worth considerably more now, I'm sure. It's built at Carman, of course, designed by Gear, and that was before Gear became part of Ford in the early 70s. So it's just an interesting combination of design and coach building. Carman Gear went on to go on to 3 additional models after this, and the final model wasn't even sold in the States. That was in the mid-70s. What a story that was, and on to another interesting story. It's HERBIE. This is almost certainly a replica. It's a 1959. Oh, it is not a replica. This is an original Disney stunt car. It was HERBIE number 6, and it featured in The Love Bug in '69 and HERBIE Rides Again in 1974. And it's been restored. That is amazing. You too. Nice newer Beetle there. A few of the new Beetles. Always love this wheel style on this. This is an interesting recreation. It's a VW based Alfa Romeo race car. Yeah, bizarre. One thing I'm really interested to see is this Volkswagen LT flatbed. Of course, these are old enough to come into the States now without any questions being asked. So it's a 96 and it's a 98 FT35, and it's got a Harlequin, Polo Harlequin on the back, which is a 96. These, of course, left-hand drive. They made over 3,000 of them, and I think I've seen this one with the green lights at the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix before. But there's a couple of right-hand drive ones here that I'm aware of as well. There was only 100 of those built, but these were more common in left-hand drive. Of course, over here there was a Golf Harlequin that was sold officially, and they made 280 of those. Golf Cabriolet as well. They were just called Cabriolet in the US market. This is a 92, which was the final model year. It's not a Wolfsburg edition, it's a standard car. So, but it's pristine, in pristine order. A lot nicer than mine. But just check out those seats. They're amazing. This one's an auto. Stunning condition, really is. You can see how the plastic pieces, the paint has oxidized on the plastic pieces, which is typical. This one's got the original Sylvania headlights in it as well. Same wheels as mine, this one. And the lady says, oh, they're not in very good condition and that you should see mine. And then there's this 68 Beetle, which is absolutely beautiful. I really like the pinstriping on this. Just check that out. Lovely. And then the seats, these nice bucket seats inside. So it's a slightly sort of modified, very slight, which is what I like. So I'm going to end with this fantastic Westphalia camper. Westphalia, of course, very famous for doing Type 2 conversions, and still do. Now this one, I'm pretty sure is a European model. Those front turn signals are European spec. It's got H4s on it, and those are German parking permits. So this is definitely a European spec van. I wonder if it's a synchro. Yeah, it's been changed to have cope with 87 AKI, and those rear markers aren't original to it either. This is a German spec.
Pardon me?
Is this a German spec originally? It isn't, or has it just been made to look like one?
It was made, yeah.
That is interesting. I thought it was the other way around. It was sold in the US. That's interesting.
I tried to make it with the tail lights.
Okay, it's a very clever US version.
Atlantic package.
It had me fooled completely. Yeah.
A lot of people don't even notice the tail lights. But no reverse lamps.
Yeah, because they're from a base Caravelle van. I think it's trying to tell me that I should be done for the day, but let's just take a look inside this. Because it is just wonderful. I mean, who doesn't love an interior like that? So I think I'm going to leave it here from the Buckeye German Jubilee for 2025 here in Columbiana, Ohio, with the camper here that completely tripped me up. That's it from me. Thanks ever so much for watching. I'm Darren, and this is Auto Atlantica.